Tan Cheng, an orphan abandoned by his parents. Since childhood, he was raised by the elder of the Lin family. But because of this, the rest of the Lin family constantly looked down on him. Everyone wanted to drive him away. Tan Cheng never understood why the old man of the Lin family was so insistent on marrying his granddaughter to him. However, Lin Chun Cheng, the granddaughter, despised Tan Cheng. After 3 years of marriage, she not only refused to let him touch her, but they barely even exchanged a few words. A few days ago, the Lin sisters plotted against Tan Cheng. They falsely accused him of harassing his sister-in-law to kick him out of the Lin household. Not only that, they even hired people to beat him up brutally. What they didn't expect was that at that very moment, Tan Cheng awakened, a powerful surge of energy enveloped him, and a majestic divine dragon appeared. As the son of a dragon, how could you have lived so miserably? You shame me. Tan Cheng, bewildered by the dragon's presence, asked, "Who are you?" The divine dragon, in an angry voice, replied, "If I had another heir, I would never pass my legacy to you." Realizing something, Tan Cheng stammered, "Are you, my father?" Without further words, the divine dragon released a surge of power into Tan Cheng. "From this day on, you shall inherit my bloodline. Don't let me down." In an instant, Tan Cheng received the dragon's power. Energy coursed through his body, awakening a latent strength. After regaining consciousness from a coma, he heard an unfamiliar voice. "Miss, it seems he's awake." As Tan Cheng tried to understand where he was, a beautiful young woman appeared before him. She gently said, "Your injuries are severe. Don't move. The doctor is on the way." Fully awake now, Tan Cheng processed everything, including the shocking truth that he was the son of the divine dragon. When the doctor arrived, the young lady said, "Since the doctor is here, I won't stay. Once you recover, please leave." Tan Cheng expressed his gratitude and asked for her name. Seeing his wounds miraculously healed, the girl was shocked, then quickly composed herself. "My name doesn't matter. I only saved you because of my grandfather." Curious, Tan Cheng asked more. Tears welled in her eyes as she said, "My grandfather is gravely ill. Beyond treatment, the doctors gave him only a few days. I wanted to do a good deed, hoping it might extend his life a bit." Tan Cheng hesitantly replied, "I know a bit of medicine. May I examine your grandfather?" Her expression changed. Meanwhile, the doctor informed them the elder's condition was merely mental exhaustion and could be treated with medicine. But before he could finish, Tan Cheng stepped forward. The space between his brows has darkened. If untreated, his life may be at risk. The doctor scoffed. "What do you know? I'm the famed miracle doctor of the capital. Who are you to interfere? If I say he's fine, then he is." Tan Cheng calmly asked, "And if something happens to him, can you take responsibility?" The doctor arrogantly replied, "Of course, my diagnoses are never wrong." At that moment, the elder coughed up blood, and his face paled. Panicked, the young lady asked the doctor what was going on, but he was speechless. Tan Cheng took charge, examining the elder. "He doesn't have much time left. We had to take a gamble." The young lady collapsed in tears. "If you can save my grandfather, the Su family will forever owe you." Using his newly awakened power, Tan Cheng began healing the elder. To him, if good people never receive kindness in return, then eventually, no one would want to do good. He poured his strength into the treatment, channeling the energy of the divine dragon. The old man, feeling like he was in a heavenly realm, gradually regained color in his face. But Tan Cheng, having spent too much energy, now looked weakened. The elder opened his eyes and looked at Tan Cheng. "I remember this favor. What do you want in return?" Tan Cheng replied, "I don't want anything. If it weren't for your granddaughter picking me up from the street, I would have died." The girl smiled warmly. "It was nothing. Anyone else would have helped you too. Let's introduce ourselves. I'm Su Yuan, and if I'm not wrong, your name is Tan Cheng, right?" Surprised by her warmth, so unlike the cruel Lin sisters, Tan Cheng nodded. She then whispered, "How much longer will my grandfather live?" Hearing her, the elder laughed. "Life and death are fated. Don't worry too much." He invited Tan Cheng to stay for dinner. Just as Tan Cheng was about to politely refuse, he received a message. Lin Chun Cheng had found out he was still alive. Mocking him, she even ordered him to return. Seeing the message, Tan Cheng's expression changed. He had no choice but to say goodbye to the Su family and leave. Su Yuan insisted on seeing him off. After he left, the old man said to his subordinate, "This concerns the future of the Su family. Investigate that young man's background thoroughly." As soon as Tan Cheng stepped into the Lin residence, he was immediately confronted by Lin Chun Cheng, who stood in front of him and cursed him harshly. "You worthless trash, where the hell have you been hiding? I thought you were dead already." Tan Cheng was about to speak when Lin Chun Cheng cut him off again. "I'm not in the mood for your stories. Since you've already left the Lin family, hurry up and sign the divorce papers." Then, with a flirtatious sneer, She added, "By the way, allow me to introduce you to someone. This is Director Yang. Yang Yi of Shanshui Corporation. My future husband. You don't think I cheated on you, do you? But I never considered you my husband anyway. So technically, it's not even betrayal." Seeing her contemptuous expression, Tan Cheng calmly retorted, "Of course not. I served you for 3 whole years. Yet you never once treated me like a person. Some relationships should have ended long ago." Lin Chun Cheng, clearly irritated, urged him to sign again. Without hesitation, Tan Cheng signed the divorce papers decisively. "As of today, I have nothing to do with the Lin family." Seeing his indifferent attitude, Lin Chun Cheng chased after him, screaming, "Why are you acting so smug? Do you actually think you're someone important now?" Just then, a familiar voice called out, "Tan Cheng, over here." Startled, Tan Cheng turned and was surprised to see Su Yuan. "Su Yuan, so you haven't left?" He quickly stepped forward and apologized. "Sorry, I didn't know you were still here." Su Yuan replied with elegance, "It's fine, I just got a sudden call from my grandfather. He wants to see you about something. Get in the car." Seeing Su Yuan standing there speaking with Tan Cheng, both Lin Chun Cheng and Yang Yi looked extremely displeased. How could that loser possibly know a woman like her? She must be an actress he hired. Meanwhile, one of the Su family's attendants was reporting to old Master Su about Tan Cheng's background. "I've looked into him. Tan Cheng was orphaned at a young age and taken in by the Lin family out of kindness. He eventually became their live-in son-in-law. As soon as old Master Su heard the name Lin family from Tan City, he frowned. Never heard of them. His expression darkened. So he has no notable background?" The attendant added, "He spent the past few years cooking and doing laundry for the Lin family. No experience in medicine." Hearing that, old Master Su sighed in disappointment. "I overestimated him. Just placing a hand on someone's forehead can't heal illness. He must have gotten lucky. Better call Dr. Sun elsewhere." Tan Cheng awkwardly said to Su Yuan, "I need a bit of time to prepare. I'll go see your grandfather right after." Su Yuan nodded and turned to leave, reminding him kindly, "If you need anything, feel free to ask the servants for help." After seeing Su Yuan off, Tan Cheng shut the door and ruffled his hair. Frustrated, "I just inherited this legacy, and now I've already promised to cure old Master Su?" With no choice, he summoned his spiritual energy and searched for a method. The medical techniques he had inherited were profound, but their effectiveness depended on how much spiritual energy he could wield. Then, his eyes fell on a book, The Complete Manual of Southern Alchemy. Immediately, an idea struck him: pill refining. Moments later, Tan Cheng walked out and asked a servant to prepare several medicinal herbs in a cauldron. At the Su residence, Dr. Sun returned with a grim expression. "There's really nothing more I can do. If you were 10 years younger, blood replacement surgery might work, but your body won't survive such trauma now." Su Yuan suggested, "Why not let Tan Cheng have a look? Even the smallest hope is still worth trying." But old Master Su was resigned. "If heaven wills it, then so be it. I can't avoid fate. My only regret is not finding you a solid support in life, child." Just then, Tan Cheng suddenly rushed in, holding a pitch-black pill. "Old Master Su, please try this." Dr. Sun was the first to react. The moment he saw the pill, everyone in the room gagged from its horrific stench. Old Master Su's face clearly showed his rejection. Tan Cheng spoke calmly, "This pill was made from herbs. It's my first attempt, so the quality may be rough, but it can still treat your illness." Dr. Sun sneered, "Young man, who do you think you are? Some kind of living miracle worker? This isn't some foul charm you scraped off your body, is it?" Tan Cheng insisted, "Sometimes things that look crude can hold miraculous power. And right now, we don't have any other options, do we?" His words shook Su Yuan. She seemed moved and wanted to convince her grandfather to try, but he rejected her firmly. "Yuaner, don't mess around. How can I drink something that smells this awful?" Dr. Sun examined the pill and confirmed, "Its ingredients are indeed herbal. It won't harm the body. But if it truly cures old Master Su, I will apologize and take him as my teacher." Despite this assurance, old Master Su was still fearful, but with determination in his heart, he finally opened his mouth and swallowed the pill. The moment it reached his throat, a burst of warmth spread through his body like a spring breeze, rejuvenating him with the vitality of youth. Dr. Sun and Su Yuan were stunned. After a quick examination, Dr. Sun gasped, "Not only is he recovering, he's rejuvenating. He can undergo the blood replacement surgery now." Dr. Sun immediately approached Tan Cheng, admiration in his eyes. "Young man, what exactly is that pill?" Tan Cheng smiled lightly. "Sorry, trade secret." Old Master Su stood up, walked over to Tan Cheng, and said solemnly, "Tan Cheng, you are now the Su family's benefactor. From this day forward, this villa is yours." Tan Cheng tried to refuse, But old Master Su scolded him. What? Is my life worth less than a house? With no way to decline, Tan Cheng accepted the gift. Looking at the grand villa before him, he murmured, "Today really feels like a dream." Just then, a sharp voice pierced the moment. "Tan Cheng, why are you still haunting me like a ghost? We're divorced. Why are you clinging to me like this? This isn't a place you belong in. Don't you know your place?" The voice could only belong to Lin Chun Cheng, with Yang Yi standing at her side. Seeing the two people he despised most, Tan Cheng stepped forward protectively in front of Su Yuan. "I'm sorry, but I do belong here." Lin Chun Cheng chuckled mockingly, her tone dripping with scorn. "Still putting on a show, huh?" Yang Yi chimed in. "Bragging doesn't cost a thing. Jin Hu, teach that kid a lesson." Immediately, a towering figure stepped forward. Jin Hu cracked his knuckles and said arrogantly, "Still protecting this woman at a time like this? Let's see how many hits you can take." But before he could finish, Su Yuan suddenly interrupted. "Jin Hu, since when did you become so capable?" The moment he recognized her as Miss Su, Jin Hu instantly transformed from tiger to kitten. Su Yuan's aura turned cold. "It's not easy for a man like you to survive this long. Why lower yourself by associating with trash like them? Listen carefully, I don't want to see him again." Jin Hu immediately dropped to his knees and bowed his head. "Yes, Miss Su, I'll deal with them for you." He then walked straight over to Lin Chun Cheng and gave her a flurry of slaps. Seeing his lover attacked, Yang Yi stepped forward to act like a hero. "Why are you afraid of a mere woman? What can she even do?" Jin Hu froze in horror and barked, "You idiot, she's the heiress of the Su family in Tan City." Sometime later, the relationship between Tan Cheng and Su Yuan had grown so close that the male lead could now freely invite her to enjoy any of the dishes he cooked. After tasting the lavish spread, Su Yuan was overjoyed. "Your cooking is incredible. It's even better than the chefs in my house. And with how strong and fit you are, I honestly can't understand how your ex-wife could ever bring herself to divorce you." Flustered, Tan Cheng explained awkwardly, "Actually, she and I never did anything as husband and wife." Hearing that, Su Yuan's eyes instantly lit up. To her, that meant one thing: she still had a chance. In that moment, their eyes met, and the rhythm of their hearts confirmed the feelings they had for each other. Both Tan Cheng and Su Yuan quietly rejoiced. Neither of them had missed their chance to be with the other. To break the rising tension, they both chuckled and acted as if nothing had happened, returning to their usual banter. Deep down, Su Yuan thought, "The future is long, I'll stay by his side." Step by step, on the way home, one of Su Yuan's close subordinates began to drop hints. "Miss, this Tan Cheng is just a live-in son-in-law. You're from a noble background, it's not proper to get too close to someone like him. You're the eldest daughter of the Su family, the apple of old Master Su's eye. He's just a worthless nobody who leeches off others." Hearing her subordinate insult Tan Cheng, Su Yuan's expression turned cold. "You're just a driver. What gives you the right to judge others? Besides, he saved my grandfather's life." In truth, Su Yuan already knew, within a month, Tan Cheng was certain to become famous. He would be a renowned figure in Tan City. 3 days later, in the heart of the ancient forest, Tan Cheng chose this place to cultivate his techniques. After channeling his energy for a while, he sighed. The spiritual qi here in Longchen Mountain was too sparse. Fortunately, the divine dragon had left behind a spirit gathering array that drew in qi from hundreds of miles. Without that, with my current level, I'd never be able to make quick progress, he thought. Now, Tan Cheng had a goal in mind. He murmured to himself, "It's still not enough. If I don't become stronger quickly, I won't be able to marry Su Yuan in good faith." That single thought stirred his heart. "Wait, could it be that I've fallen in love with her already? A poor, divorced man with enemies like me. What right do I have to be with a woman like her?" Even so, Tan Cheng believed, someday, he would stand at the top, worthy of Su Yuan. Suddenly, a voice shouted, "Tan Cheng, get out here." Before Tan Cheng could even react, a group of people appeared in front of him. Yang Yi had brought his goons to take revenge for what had happened days earlier. The thugs sneered, full of arrogance, "If not for Brother Hu last night, we'd have smashed your face in. You dare offend Brother Yang? You must have a death wish." Tan Cheng answered coolly, "Take it easy. The previous owner of that villa was old Master Su, the head of the Su family in Tan City. If he gave me that villa, do you really think our relationship is ordinary?" He paused, then added with a sly smile, "But I'm not even trying to flaunt that. I just wanted to remind you, whether it's the Su family coming after you, or me beating you up, either way, it's not going to end well." Those words, dripping with authority, chilled the gangsters to the bone. They turned to Yang Yi, clearly wanting to back down. But Yang Yi threw away his cigarette, pointed at Tan Cheng, and barked, "Do it. If anything happens, I'll take full responsibility." Seeing that they wouldn't heed his warning, Tan Cheng sighed. Why must people ignore good advice? Then, without hesitation, he delivered a sharp slap across one thug's face. Realizing Tan Cheng's overwhelming strength, the gangsters immediately knew they couldn't beat him. They wanted to retreat, but Yang Yi punched one of them and shouted, "Even if you can't beat him, you better fight, or do you want to lose your place in this business forever?" At that moment, Yang Yi received a call. It was Lin Chuncheng. Through the call, he learned that old Master Lin had just been hospitalized in critical condition. Tan Cheng, standing nearby, overheard, "Old Master Lin is in trouble?" Yang Yi sneered, "What's it to you? He's part of my family, not yours. Don't you dare show your face at the hospital." Even though Yang Yi had said so, Tan Cheng couldn't ignore it. No matter how the Lin family had mistreated him, old Master Lin had still raised him. He wondered if he could ask Dr. Sun for help. A while later, Tan Cheng stepped toward the thugs, who trembled in fear, only to find out that all he wanted was to borrow their car to go to the hospital. Meanwhile at the hospital, Lin Chuncheng was anxiously pleading with the doctor. "Is there really no way to move my grandfather up the list?" "We have money," the doctor explained helplessly. "This isn't about money. With our hospital's current capabilities, we simply can't perform this surgery." To solve the problem, Yang Yi handed the doctor a thick envelope of cash and whispered darkly, "Just keep him alive for one more week. Once the paperwork is done, I don't care whether he lives or dies." As it turned out, Yang Yi had been planning to sabotage old Master Lin for a long time to seize his assets. Just then, Tan Cheng arrived, with Dr. Sun beside him. "This is Dr. Sun from the capital," he introduced. "Can we borrow your operating room?" The moment the local doctor saw who it was, he beamed with joy. "Of course, if Dr. Sun is here, everything is possible. I'll make arrangements immediately." Seeing that Tan Cheng had actually brought in such a renowned doctor, Lin Chuncheng was stunned. Yang Yi, on the other hand, clenched his jaw in fury. His plan had been completely foiled. Back at the Su residence, old Master Su noticed his granddaughter quietly gazing out at the scenery. "What's wrong?" he asked. "Are you thinking about Tan Cheng again?" Su Yuan flushed red and tried to deny it, but there was no hiding it from old Master Su's perceptive eyes. Eventually, Su Yuan hinted, "Grandpa, if I truly wanted to be with Tan Cheng, you wouldn't object, would you?" Old Master Su smiled. "As long as you like him. Even if it were a dog, I'd turn it into a divine mastiff." Blushing, Su Yuan asked, "So, the business banquet in 3 days, is that really for Tan Cheng?" Old Master Su responded gently, "No, it's not for Tan Cheng, it's for you. I just want to see whether that boy is truly worthy." Eyes sparkling, Su Yuan looked straight ahead. "If Tan Cheng really proves himself, I'll tell everyone at that banquet. The Lin family may not want him, but I, Su Yuan, do." Thanks to the help of Dr. Sun, Tan Cheng soon received good news. "Don't worry. The surgery was a success. Old Master Lin can go home tomorrow." Hearing this, Tan Cheng was overjoyed. "Thank you so much, Doctor. Without you, I would have been completely helpless." Dr. Sun nudged him playfully. "Didn't you have your own solution? Why did you need me at all? Couldn't you have just given him one of your pills?" Tan Cheng smiled wryly. "You don't understand. Even though I grew up in the Lin family, my status there was lower than a dog. No one listened to me. And now that I'm divorced from Lin Chuncheng, there's even less reason for anyone to believe me. That's why I had to trouble you." Dr. Sun scolded him half-jokingly. "Stop with the formalities. Aren't you my master now? Just call me Xiao Sun from now on. Understood?" As Tan Cheng listened to Dr. Sun ramble, Yang Yi suddenly reappeared, followed by the same group of lackeys. Tan Cheng sighed. "See? I just mentioned him and here he is." "Speak of the devil," a familiar voice called out. "Brother Tan." Yang Yi brightened at the sight of Jin Hu, thinking he was there to support him. But when he rushed over to greet him, Jin Hu completely ignored him. Instead, Jin Hu, covered in bling and flanked by a squad of burly bodyguards, warmly approached Tan Cheng. "Brother Tan, everything's ready, right? I'm here to escort you home." Yang Yi stood there slack-jawed, dumbfounded. Jin Hu bowed respectfully and smiled. "I've prepared a banquet tonight to drive away bad luck. I sincerely hope you'll attend." Seeing Tan Cheng hesitate, Jin Hu's face darkened. The next moment, he and all his men dropped to their knees. "Miss Su said if I don't get your forgiveness, I can forget about surviving in Tan City. Please, Brother Tan, just give me one chance." Yang Yi's gangsters followed suit. Kneeling in desperation, Yang Yi nearly exploded with rage. Realizing this was Su Yuan's doing, Tan Cheng decided to honor her sentiment and agreed to attend the banquet. Jin Hu and his men wept with joy and quickly handed over a VIP invitation. Meanwhile, Yang Yi's thugs debated whether they should flee before it was too late. Yang Yi screamed at them in fury. You traitorous dogs, get lost, all of you, worthless trash. He then made a call to someone and said coldly, "You're in charge of tonight's banquet. Don't screw this up." That evening, Tan Cheng arrived at the Royal Palace Hotel, the most luxurious 6-star venue in Tan City. As he searched the crowd for Su Yuan, he was suddenly intercepted by a man and a woman. "Isn't this Tan Cheng? You came to the reunion too? Funny, I don't recall anyone inviting you." The speaker was Zhang Hua, a wealthy former classmate who always looked down on Tan Cheng. Standing beside him was Tu Xiao, Tan Cheng's old university lecturer known for bootlicking and once declaring Tan Cheng would never amount to anything. Tu Xiao smirked. "Since we've already met, let's go in together, unless you're afraid of embarrassment." Tan Cheng replied coolly, "No thanks, I'm here to meet someone." Tu Xiao laughed mockingly. "Meeting someone? Don't tell me you're here to beg your ex-wife to take you back. Even if she did, it wouldn't be as a husband, more like a janitor." Tan Cheng could no longer hold back. "After all these years, you haven't changed. The only difference is a few more wrinkles." Enraged, Tu Xiao snapped, "What kind of attitude is that? Do you know who I am now?" Tan Cheng grinned. "What, a gold-digging lecturer clinging to rich boys?" His words hit a nerve. Tu Xiao raised her hand to slap him, but was stopped by a calm voice. "Enough, don't you know where you are? This is no place for drama. And you're a lecturer, watch your mouth." The speaker was Gong Dao, their former class president who had always looked out for Tan Cheng. Zhang Hua stepped up arrogantly. "Why not? This is my brother Jin Hu's turf. I can do whatever I want here. Even if I dragged you out of here, no one would dare say a word." He reached out toward Gong Dao but was unexpectedly punched in the face. Blood sprayed like crushed tomatoes. Stunned, Gong Dao and Tu Xiao looked on in horror. Tan Cheng, who had thrown the punch, casually said, "Something must have brushed my hand just now." Worried Zhang Hua might seek revenge, Gong Dao whispered, "Tan Cheng, don't be reckless. I can handle some humiliation. But what about you?" Tan Cheng replied, "If they dare harass you today, they'll harass others tomorrow. These dogs need to be taught a lesson. Don't worry, no one here dares lay a hand on me." Tu Xiao, having called in her bodyguards, now shouted arrogantly, "If I don't smash your head open tonight, I'll eat the floor tile." Right then, a thunderous voice boomed, "Who dares make a move?" It was Jin Hu. Zhang Hua lit up like he'd seen his savior. "Brother Hu, you're here. This guy went too far." But what happened next made Zhang Hua freeze. Jin Hu walked straight past him, bowed respectfully to Tan Cheng. "Brother Tan, are you alright? Miss, I'm terribly sorry something like this happened in my hotel." Zhang Hua and Tu Xiao stood there stunned. Seeing how things really were, they rushed over to beg for forgiveness. "Brother Hu, we didn't know he was your friend. Please let us go." Jin Hu responded coldly, "Maybe I can, but first, didn't you say you'd eat a tile if you were wrong?" He pointed at the floor. Tu Xiao stammered, That's not edible." She turned desperately to Tan Cheng. "Please, for the sake of our old teacher-student relationship, help me." Tan Cheng smiled politely. "Sorry, I'm not worthy." Later, inside the VIP lounge, Jin Hu presented a pile of luxurious gifts to Tan Cheng, agarwood, a black credit card, and other items only seen among the ultra-wealthy. Tan Cheng took the card and smiled. "So what's the real reason behind all this?" He knew accepting everything meant this matter wouldn't end easily. Jin Hu looked troubled. "The Su family is hosting a major business banquet. Every big name in Tan City will be there. Everyone but me got an invitation. Even the trashy Lin family got one. I think it's because I offended Miss Su. Please, help me make amends." Tan Cheng hesitated. "I want to help, but I may not be capable." Jin Hu beamed. "I won't let you work for free. I own a whole commercial street in Tan City. If you agree to help, I'll give it to you." Thinking about how many herbs such a place could buy, Tan Cheng was tempted. Still, he kept a modest front. "I can try, just don't get your hopes up." Jin Hu nearly cried with joy. "Thank you, Brother Tan." That evening, standing quietly outside the Lin residence, Tan Cheng suddenly received a call. On the other end came a familiar voice. "Tan Cheng, there's something I need to tell you." In the hospital room, Tan Cheng held old Master Lin's hand and softly called out to him. The old man, lying weakly on the bed, whispered, Cheng, after everything they did to you, you still came to visit this old man. I'm truly grateful." Tan Cheng replied gently, "Please don't say that, grandfather. If you hadn't taken me in and raised me, I wouldn't have lived to see today." Old Master Lin's expression grew serious. "I asked you here for a reason. The truth is, you're not an orphan. 20 years ago, when our Lin family were still fishermen, I went out to sea alone and met a stranger. He stood on the water, unfazed even when facing 7 warships. Flames and smoke were everywhere. After a fierce battle, he destroyed every ship. He looked like an invincible war god. arrogantly surveying the world. After the battle, he asked me to take care of someone. That someone was you. Tan Cheng. He said he would take you home once his wounds healed. In the blink of an eye. 20 years have passed. Everything our Lin family has today, we owe to you. Old Master Lin's eyes welled with tears. Cheng, I know the Lin family wronged you. But for my sake, can you leave them a way to survive? Tan Cheng nodded solemnly. I promise. Sometime later, Tan Cheng visited the Su family villa. Before Old Master Su, he introduced the pill in his hand. This is called Yuan Restoration Pill. It's primarily used to replenish vitality, which suits your condition well. Just then, a deep voice interrupted. Old Su, you found another treasure. Huh? The speaker was Huang Long, a stern-looking man who radiated an imposing aura. So the kid's a cultivator too? What's your level? Which sect do you belong to? Realizing Huang Long wasn't an ordinary man, Tan Cheng bowed respectfully. My name is Tan Cheng. My cultivation is at the second layer of qi refining. I don't belong to any sect. Huang Long burst out laughing. No sect? What, were your skills grown out of rocks? He stepped forward and narrowed his eyes. Tell me, Tan, are you practicing demonic arts? Then, without warning, he splashed a bowl of water at Tan Cheng. Su Yuan stepped forward to defend him. Tan Cheng healed my grandfather in front of everyone. How could that be demonic? Huang Long maintained a righteous tone. Cultivation has many paths. The orthodox sects draw from heaven and earth, but the unorthodox ones rely on poisons and curses. You've never seen how he trains, so how can you be sure? At that moment, Tan Cheng interjected, but your own cultivation technique, it's a bit flawed too. Huang Long reflexively nodded, then realized he'd agreed instinctively. Tan Cheng stepped forward and pointed at him calmly. Your hand's too stiff. Relax it a little. Straighten your back more. Embarrassed by being corrected by a junior, Huang Long suddenly launched an attack. You talk too much. Let's see if you can prove anything with your strength. Tan Cheng smiled politely. You're a friend of old Master Su and my elder. If I hurt you, it wouldn't look good. That only infuriated Huang Long more. If you manage to injure me, I'll write my name backward. With no other choice, Tan Cheng sighed and prepared to fight. Moments later, Huang Long was on the ground. Old Master Su burst into laughter. Didn't expect our young friend Tan to be this good. Su Yuan rushed to Tan Cheng's side. Are you hurt? Does your hand hurt? Tan Cheng smiled. I'm fine. Not even a scratch. Immediately after, Su Yuan pinched his arm red. Apparently, she had been terrified. If Tan Cheng had lost, he might not have left the Su household alive. Seeing her concern, Tan Cheng said softly, look at me. I'm standing here just fine. Don't worry. Su Yuan murmured. Then, stay safe and stand before me like this forever. The words, forever, stunned Tan Cheng into silence. Su Yuan blushed deeply and turned away. Later, out on the balcony, Tan Cheng asked Su Yuan, can I bring one more person to the business banquet in a few days? Su Yuan asked, who? Jin Hu. She smiled. Why not? It's just one more place setting. Besides, what's our relationship, right? Tan Cheng chuckled. And what relationship is that? Su Yuan playfully reached out to slap him. You've really picked up bad habits quickly. Then, looking shy, she asked, if I get bullied in the future, will you help me? Tan Cheng answered firmly, I swear, so long as I live, I won't let anyone lay a finger on you. The mood grew tender. They leaned closer, called each other's names softly, and just as their lips were about to meet, Tan Cheng, old Master Su's voice cut through the air. I found the trace of that 100-year herb you wanted. It's showing up at the Tan City auction. Su Yuan quickly stepped forward. Grandpa, I'll go with him. I'm free anyway. Old Master Su teased. Oh, afraid something might happen to him? Both turned to look at Tan Cheng, then simultaneously commented, that outfit of yours won't do. A short while later, Su Yuan brought him to a shopping center. Seeing the price tags, Tan Cheng hesitated. This place is too expensive. Su Yuan replied casually. So what? People judge by appearances. Dress well and they won't look down on you. Now try this on. Dressed in a designer suit, Tan Cheng instantly looked like a romantic CEO. Su Yuan beamed. Why didn't I realize before? You're a perfect clothes hanger. The shoulders, the back, perfect. Tan Cheng was overwhelmed with happiness. At that moment, a familiar voice rang out. Well, if it isn't Tan Cheng. Mooching off someone else again? Standing before him were the shameless duo, Lin Chun Cheng and Yang Yi. As soon as Tan Cheng appeared, Yang Yi smirked and mocked. Heard you're heading to the Tan City auction? Just came to remind you, everything there today. I'm buying it all. Su Yuan immediately responded with irritation. Big talk. I'd like to see how you plan to buy everything. Scene shift. The auction hall. Yang Yi was bidding aggressively on an item, flaunting his wealth for Lin Chun Cheng's favor. He bid 1.5 million without blinking. As the auctioneer called, 1.5 million going once, twice, a commanding voice rang out. 5 million. The entire hall fell into stunned silence. The voice belonged to Su Yuan. Tan Cheng leaned over. Isn't that a bit much? Su Yuan smiled. It's just money. I don't lack it. 5 million going once, twice, sold. Congratulations to bidder number 8 for winning Eternal Love. The auctioneer announced a short break before the final item. Outside in the lobby, the crowd gathered around Su Yuan. Lin Chun Cheng and Yang Yi were fuming. Unable to bear it, Lin Chun Cheng stormed in and shouted, "That ring was supposed to be our engagement ring. Why did you steal it?" Tan Cheng stepped in calmly. "So the woman is secondhand, and so is the ring? How thoughtful." Lin Chun Cheng was speechless. Yang Yi, attempting damage control, smiled at Su Yuan. "Miss Su, had I known you liked the ring, I would have let you have it. Friends should help each other." Su Yuan shot him a cold look. "Friends? You think you're qualified to be my friend?" Just then, the auction staff brought over the ring. "Miss Su, here's the ring you won." Taking it in her hand, Su Yuan glanced at Yang Yi. "Who said I liked it?" Lin Chun Cheng clung to Yang Yi, whining, "Darling, she's bullying us." Su Yuan smiled faintly. "I just thought you two don't deserve a ring called Eternal Love. Besides, I don't care for something like this." She threw the ring into a nearby pond in front of everyone. Lin Chun Cheng exploded. "That bitch, who does she think she is? Humiliating us like this?" Yang Yi, meanwhile, frowned with deeper concern. Who exactly was Su Yuan that she could casually toss away a $5 million ring? Still, he reassured Lin Chun Cheng. "Don't worry, I'll win the final item for you." Back inside, the final auction was about to begin. Tan Cheng whispered to Su Yuan, "That ring, it was beautiful. Why throw it away?" She replied flatly, "Its quality was average. I wanted to show something. Those who humiliate others will be humiliated in turn." The auctioneer introduced the last item, a dazzling crystal necklace. Su Yuan sighed. "It's pretty, but not the herb you're after. I'll just hope for better next time." Tan Cheng held her hand. "You'd look stunning in it. Let me buy it for you." Bidding began. Offers skyrocketed until Tan Cheng raised his paddle. 5 million. Gasps echoed through the hall. Bidder number 8 again. Yang Yi hesitated, then countered. 5.5 million. Tan Cheng smirked and upped it to 6 million. In truth, Jin Hu's black card held 10 million. The commercial street he gifted earned 5 million weekly. Even spending half wouldn't affect Tan Cheng's cultivation plans. Yang Yi raised to 6.5 million. Tan Cheng calmly responded, 7 million. They went back and forth until Tan Cheng offered 8 million. Yang Yi, burning with pride, sneered, 8 million and won. Despite Lin Chun Cheng's protest, he insisted, "Let's see how you finish this." Tan Cheng. With a sigh, Tan Cheng raised the stakes. 20 million. Dead silence fell. No one could match it. Sold. Bidder number 8 wins the Crystal Kiss necklace. Outside, Tan Cheng quickly ushered Su Yuan to the car to avoid the press. He exhaled in relief, finally shook them off. Su Yuan giggled. "Not bad. That was quite the show. You'll be famous soon." Tan Cheng gave her a tender look. "All thanks to you. Now that we're alone, may I put the necklace on you?" She nodded, and he gently placed the necklace around her neck. In his eyes, she was like a radiant goddess. Then, looking into her eyes, he asked, "If I gain status and power one day, will you marry me?" Su Yuan took his hand. "Sometimes, love overlooks status, and I believe in you. I truly do." Tan Cheng smiled, heart at peace. Meanwhile, Lin Chun Cheng was still by the pond, crying, searching for a ring. Scene shift. Evening. As always, Tan Cheng went to the mountain to cultivate. After absorbing the surrounding spiritual energy, he exhaled. He had reached Qi refining layer 3. Just then, his phone rang. "Brother Tan, it's Jin Hu. Something's up at the construction site. Can you come take a look?" Taoist Bai stood beside Jin Hu, his voice calm and confident. "The heavens favor this land. It's surrounded by mountains and rivers. A perfect convergence of energy. With such feng shui, it can only bring wealth and prosperity." Despite the reassurance, Jin Hu was visibly worried. Taoist Bai, then how do you explain everything that's happened lately? One worker fell. It could have been an accident, but a whole scaffolding collapsing? Hundreds of bolts coming loose at the same time? That's no coincidence. And people keep quitting. They're either sick or have family issues. No one wants to stay. If this keeps up, the project will never be finished. Just then, Tan Cheng appeared, cutting in. "It's not just strange, it's a serious problem. The land may be well placed geographically, but it's filled with stagnant, foul energy. Even good feng shui can't save it." Jin Hu turned to him urgently. "Brother Tan, what should we do? Should we stop the work to figure this out?" Tan Cheng shook his head. No need, something's buried here. Unless we dig it up, this place will never prosper. Taoist Bai looked offended. I've selected hundreds of favorable lands for wealthy clients. Who are you to question me? Tan Cheng offered a polite smile. I mean no offense, I'm just being cautious. Taoist Bai relented. Fine, but if we find nothing, you'll owe me an apology. Tan Cheng nodded casually. Sure, whatever you say. Jin Hu immediately ordered the digging. 5 meters down, a tired worker called out. Boss, we've been digging for ages. Want us to keep going? Though Jin Hu hesitated, worried that proving Tan Cheng right would mean offending Taoist Bai, he nodded to continue. Moments later, a box was unearthed. When the box was opened, it revealed a strange, ominous-looking blade. Both Jin Hu and Taoist Bai turned pale. Taoist Bai, do you know what this is? Jin Hu asked nervously. Taoist Bai kept calm. Let's not panic. Have you offended anyone lately? No, Jin Hu replied immediately. That's a cursed item, Bai explained. It draws resentment and misfortune, buried to summon evil energies. That's why everything's been going wrong. What should I do? Jin Hu asked, his voice shaking. Taoist Bai shrugged. I can't help, but maybe our young friend here can. Now, even Taoist Bai had faith in Tan Cheng. If he could find it, perhaps he can deal with it too. Jin Hu turned to Tan Cheng. Brother Tan, please. Tan Cheng examined the blade and nodded. I'll take care of it. Don't let anyone else touch it, or trouble will follow. Jin Hu teared up. Thank you. If you ever need anything, just say the word. Taoist Bai approached, his tone now respectful. Young man, which sect are you from? Your abilities are impressive. I'd like to visit and learn from you. Tan Cheng waved it off. No sect. I just got lucky. Scene shift. Mountain peak. Tan Cheng carried the box up the mountain. As he examined the blade, he confirmed his suspicion. The foul energy was just like the one affecting Old Master Su. Someone's targeting the Su family, he muttered. He crushed the blade with a single hand. Tomorrow's the business gala. Let's see if the real culprit shows up. Scene shift. Business gala venue. With 4 hours to go, the courtyard was already crowded with elite guests and journalists. Everything had been set up, the decorations complete, the entertainers ready. In a quieter corner, a young man approached Yang Yi. Brother Yang, do you know why the Su family is hosting this event? Before Yang Yi could respond, Lin Chun Cheng cut in. Isn't it obvious? They see potential in our Lin family and want to form ties. Yang Yi scoffed. You don't know anything. This event is to support a young rising talent. Word is, it's someone new. The young man's eyes lit up. If only that someone were me. As guests gathered at the entrance, Tan Cheng noticed a beaded bracelet on the wrist of an older gentleman named Chen Quan. He didn't hesitate to speak up. To put it simply, the dead use spirit money, not real currency. That bracelet on your wrist, it's not something the living should wear. At best, you'll catch a cold. At worst, you'll lose everything. You should think twice. Chen Kuan's face darkened. My son got this from a temple. He said it would bring me fortune. Are you saying the monks were lying to us? Tan Cheng's expression didn't change. Is it possible your son visited the wrong kind of temple? Angered by the comment, Chen Quan called out to his scar-faced bodyguard. Teach him a lesson. The bodyguard stepped forward, towering over Tan Cheng. Chen Quan added, Old Master Su, don't blame me for being harsh. Nearby, Old Master Su turned to Su Yuan. Well, aren't you going to help him? Su Yuan stood firm. The Su family put him on this stage. And with prestige comes danger. If he can't handle this, then he doesn't deserve the position. I trust him. He's never let me down. True to her words, Tan Cheng didn't disappoint. In a flash, he blocked the bodyguard's punch and launched him backward. Scarface wiped blood from his lip and growled. I guess I have to use that now. At Chen Kuan's nod, he unleashed his energy, stirring the air with his aura. He was clearly at least mid-foundation level. Even so, Tan Cheng was undaunted. As Scarface attacked, Tan Cheng used a burst of chi to obscure the man's sight. Then countered just as Scarface closed in. Their clash sent Tan Cheng skidding back. Scarface smirked and leapt into the air, ready to finish it with one mighty stomp. The ground shook from the impact. Su Yuan looked on in horror. But then, a single hand emerged from the dust. Tan Cheng gripped Scarface's arm and flipped him high into the air before slamming him into the ground. The crowd watched in awe. Tan Cheng stepped forward, seized his opponent's dislocated arm, and declared, I win. Scarface lay motionless. The match was over. Old Master Su clapped. Well done, Tan Cheng. I didn't know you had it in you. Chen Quan approached. You won, but I still say this bracelet is fine. Tan Cheng shrugged. Believe what you want. You're the one who'll suffer if I'm right. Still unwilling to back down, Chen Quan made a proposal. Let's bet. If nothing happens to my household in 3 days, you kneel and apologize in front of the whole city. Tan Cheng replied calmly, "Fine, but if something does happen, then I'll kneel and apologize to you." They shook on it. Unseen by the crowd, two shadowy figures whispered nearby. "He's stronger than expected," one murmured. The other scoffed. "He's only at Qi refining level 3. No need to fear. But that Chen Quan guy might be better off gone." Scene shift. Gala begins. As Tan Cheng mingled with the crowd, a beautiful woman approached him with a wooden box. "This was left for you, sir," she said respectfully. "Why didn't he come in person?" Tan Cheng asked. "He wasn't feeling well," the woman replied. "Please don't take it as disrespect." With a nod, Tan Cheng accepted the box and dismissed her. Su Yuan came up moments later. "What's that?" Tan Cheng opened the box slowly. Inside was a jade stamp bearing the mark of the divine dragon, and a letter addressed simply, "To my child." As soon as Tan Cheng saw the object in the box, he immediately recognized it as a letter his father had left for him. Just as he was about to open it to see what was inside, Su Yuan suddenly stopped him. She signaled that he shouldn't open it yet. There were too many people around and things were complicated. Better to go inside and talk. Tan Cheng agreed with her suggestion and brought the box into a private room. He recalled what Su Yuan had said. This was the secure room of her family, specially prepared for him. Her carefulness made Tan Cheng feel somewhat tense. The moment he opened the letter from his father, he found the following message inside. "You do not need to go to the capital, nor should you look for your mother. Remember this well. I know you want to meet her, but you must endure until you attain absolute power. She is just an ordinary person. Right now, she goes by the name Chu Kan in the capital. I trust she can manage. Also, about your mother, everything from now on will be uncertain. But you are the heir to the true dragon bloodline." After reading the letter, Tan Cheng's mind was flooded with questions. He sighed inwardly, clearly. The world was not as simple as he once thought. Scene change. At the banquet. Su Yuan, perceptive as always, noticed that Tan Cheng had returned. She approached him and asked how he was doing. But because his mind was preoccupied with the contents of the letter, he gave her a vague answer, which left her somewhat disappointed. Just then, a figure appeared at the banquet entrance. The man immediately knelt and kowtowed before old Master Su, exclaiming that something had happened at the Chen household. The old man asked in surprise, "Didn't old Mr. Chen just leave? What could have happened?" The subordinate explained. As soon as he returned home, Madame Chen suddenly went crazy. She picked up a knife and started waving it around wildly. "I barely escaped to seek help. Please, I beg everyone, if no one intervenes, a tragedy may occur." Old Master Su sighed and replied, "We can't help much. Perhaps we should invite a feng shui master instead." Just then, Tan Cheng stepped forward and offered to go to the Chen residence himself. "Even if I can't help, I'd like to see for myself." Seeing how eager he was, Su Yuan pulled him aside and, as usual, warned him to be careful. Tan Cheng smiled in response, assuring her he would. Scene change. At the Chen residence. The place was in chaos. Scarface was discussing with Chen Quan. "The madam won't be able to act up for now. But this isn't a long-term solution." Chen Quan nodded, helpless. "It's fine. I've already sent for a feng shui master." At that moment, Chen Quan had begun to put some faith in Tan Cheng's abilities. But when he saw him arrive, he couldn't help but lash out. "Why are you here?" Tan Cheng replied calmly. "Didn't you send someone to ask for help from the Su family?" Chen Quan snapped. "I asked for help, not from you." Tan Cheng didn't want to argue. Instead, he warned, "If you don't remove the prayer beads now, it will be too late." Just then, Chen Kuan's son came downstairs and interrupted. "Those are holy relics from Nam Temple. You can't just tell us to discard them." Chen Quan echoed his son. "Nam Temple is hundreds of kilometers away. Are you saying someone from so far away wants to harm me?" Facing the father and son's doubts, Tan Cheng just looked steadily at the young man, then raised his voice. "You'd better tell the truth." The young man, frightened by Tan Cheng's piercing gaze, stammered, "Yes, I brought them from Nam Temple. Stop trying to scare me. Just leave." Tan Cheng replied, "If that's what you all say, then I won't stay. But if you ever ask for my help again, you'd better keep your word." Chen Quan dismissed him. "Maybe if you leave, everything will go back to normal." Just then, Bai Tian suddenly appeared. The moment Chen Quan and his son saw the master, they respectfully invited him inside. When Bai Tian noticed Tan Cheng, he was shocked. "Master Tan, you're here too?" He approached and whispered, "Things aren't looking good. If even you can't help, I may not be able to do anything either." Tan Cheng answered, "I haven't even tried yet. They looked down on me and wanted to kick me out." Bai Tian had no choice but to begin his ritual. But as he started, Madame Chen screamed like a vengeful spirit, the power emanating from her left Bai Tian visibly shaken. "This is bad. Something's possessed her. I fear even my skills aren't enough." Hearing this, Chen Quan panicked. What should we do now? If anything happens to her, I won't let this go." With Bai Tian helpless, Chen Quan turned to Tan Cheng, pleading, "Master Tan, please save my wife." Tan Cheng replied, "Didn't you say before you'd kneel and apologize to me in front of the whole city?" Chen Quan hesitated. "That might not be appropriate. How about we settle it with money? 500 million, will that do?" Tan Cheng was momentarily swayed. 500 million was a huge sum for him. But money runs out. What he needed was something long-term, like Jinhu's commercial district. Just then, he noticed a cabinet nearby and had an idea. He said, "It's not that I don't want to help, but every time I act, it drains my vital energy. I'll need rare herbs to recover." Chen Quan immediately understood. "If you help, you can have any herbs in the cabinet, take all of them." With the deal struck, Tan Cheng demanded, "Hand me the prayer beads." Seeing Chen Quan still confused, he barked, "The prayer beads, hurry up." As soon as he got them, he activated his technique and shattered the beads one by one. At once, Madame Chen collapsed, no longer screaming. The resentment inside her had been dispelled. Tan Cheng then asked where Chen Kuan's wretched son had gone. He spotted the young man hiding in a corner, trembling with fear and insisting the matter had nothing to do with him. He turned to flee, but Scarface caught him, lifting him with ease. Scarface asked Tan Cheng, "Master Tan, what should we do with him now?" Tan Cheng replied, "This isn't the place to talk. Bring him back to my house first." Evening at Long Hai Mountain Villa. That evening at Long Hai Mountain Villa, after a long session under Scarface's iron fists, the young Master Chen finally confessed everything. Seeing Scarface interrogate the suspect for him, Tan Cheng was momentarily speechless, so it turned out Scarface had followed him the whole time. The man declared with determination, "Brother Tan, from today on, I want to follow you. I don't need salary, just food." Meanwhile, young Master Chen finally began revealing the truth. "A month ago, when I went to Nam Temple to offer incense, I happened to meet someone. He told me that this string of prayer beads could keep my family safe for 1 year. So I accepted it." Hearing this, Tan Cheng scolded, "And you didn't think to ask yourself, since when does a free pie fall from the sky?" Still trying to defend himself, the young man said, "But that's the most sacred temple in the country. Who would dare scam people there? Besides, I wasn't cautious because our family's in business. It's impossible we've made no enemies. Normally, I wouldn't accept items without knowing their origin, but we shared a few meals. And I found out that someone gifted him those prayer beads. He wore one himself too. I thought it was a good thing. Something to accumulate blessings for future generations. In the end, I asked him 3 times before he told me where the sage lived, Zan Ming sect. One of the biggest cultivation sects in Tan City. They practice dark arts, but most successful people rely on them." Hearing this, Tan Cheng revealed a look of disgust. "You knew they practiced demonic cultivation, and you still brought their stuff back?" Young Master Chen grew agitated. "What do you know? The so-called righteous sects never lift a finger to help us. So what if it's dark arts? As long as it brings in money, any price is worth it." He trembled, then added, "I just didn't expect things to turn out this way." Tan Cheng sighed. The minds of the wealthy really are difficult to understand. With no other choice, he ordered Scarface to return the man to the Chen household. On the surface, Zan Ming sect was a wide net meant to trap the wealthy. But thinking deeper, Tan Cheng suspected they were targeting the Su family. If he hadn't volunteered to go, old Master Su would surely have sent someone else, and if trouble arose, the Su family wouldn't be able to avoid being implicated. Considering the cursed knife found at the construction site, it was certain that Zan Ming sect had a hand in these events. The sect was known for its use of insects and curses. Its elders and elites were at least at the foundation establishment stage. Ruthless and cold-blooded, they had strong ties with officials and were often the force behind terrible incidents. After researching old texts, Tan Cheng calmly concluded, Zan Ming sect was merely a tool. But to find the mastermind, he had to stir things up with them first. A plan, and a problem. The plan was in place. But Tan Cheng now realized the horrifying truth: he was no match for them. Even so, he didn't give up. Smirking slyly, he hugged the pile of spiritual herbs he had gathered, determined to break through to the foundation establishment stage that night. The next morning, Tan Cheng walked out of the restroom looking exhausted. Turns out those herbs that had seemed so impressive were actually of poor quality. After consuming them all, he had only advanced 3 levels, currently at the 6th level of qi refining. Just then, Scarface walked in to report. Sir Tan, someone from the Su family just came by. Master Su invited you to lunch at noon. Tan Cheng asked curiously. Did they say what for? No, Scarface replied, just that you should arrive on time. Tan Cheng then asked if Scarface had eaten or where he slept. From Scarface's answer, he learned that the guy had slept outside in the courtyard last night. Sighing, Tan Cheng scolded, "You idiot, there are plenty of empty rooms. Pick one and sleep inside next time. Or you'll catch a cold. And another thing," he added, "your cultivation method is too harsh, it'll damage your bones. I'll teach you a better one soon. You'll make faster progress." Scarface was deeply moved. "Thank you, Master Tan." At the Su residence. By noon, Tan Cheng arrived at the Su family residence as invited. He had a vague sense that something big was going on. Normally, old Master Su would have just called if it were a casual matter. But today he had gone out of his way to invite him formally. The moment Tan Cheng stepped through the door, an arrogant voice rang out. "So you're Tan Cheng? You look like a nobody. And you expect me to believe you cured old Master Su? Hard to believe." Before him stood a young man with a smug expression. He quickly produced a wooden box and started blabbering. "Healing someone? It depends on the medicine. This is a Tianshan snow lotus I had someone climb the mountain to get. It's said to extend one's lifespan, should be great for your health." Old Master Su. Tan Cheng glanced at the plant and scoffed. "It's just a fancy radish. My gift is far better." Displeased, the young man, Di Chao, shouted, "Do you even know how much a snow lotus costs?" Before he could finish, Tan Cheng presented his own gift. A freshly refined spirit cultivation pill that nourishes the body and replenishes one's essence. Di Chao sneered, "That? It's just a sugar bean. You can find those outside any elementary school." That remark made Tan Cheng furious. You couldn't buy this for even tens of millions. Thus began a petty verbal battle. Di Chao's radish versus Tan Cheng's sweet bean. Neither backed down, mocking each other. Suddenly, Di Chao grabbed Su Yuan's hand and declared, "I'm going to be Su family's future son-in-law. It's beneath me to argue with a man like you. Just because you cured old Master Su doesn't mean your family. You're just a pauper making a buck off us. You think you're worthy to eat at the Su table? A proper match means being from the same class. Once our two families unite, we'll make more money than you could dream of." Tan Cheng retorted, "Is money all you think about? Marriage isn't a business transaction. It should come from mutual affection. If there's no love, what's the point?" Di Chao was about to argue that Su Yuan had feelings for him. When Tan Cheng interrupted, he flung the man's hand off Su Yuan and said sternly, "True value lies in talent and ability, not in inherited wealth. Looking at you now, you're not even worth a penny to me." Red-faced from both physical pain and the scolding, Di Chao lunged, attempting to punch Tan Cheng. But unlike before, Tan Cheng didn't dodge. The punch landed squarely on his chest, but did no damage. Then, to Di Chao's horror, his arm twisted unnaturally. Screaming in pain, he fled, but not before shouting, "You just wait. In a few days, I'll make you pay." Seeing him go, Tan Cheng sighed. Yet another rich brat made into an enemy. Even old Master Su lamented. Di Chao is the most powerful capitalist in Tan City. Even businesses from other provinces rely on him as a bridge to operate. Local enterprises don't stand a chance without him. You really know how to get yourself in trouble. But Tan Cheng wasn't too bothered. Turning to Su Yuan and old Master Su, he said seriously, "I have something important to tell you both." Tan Cheng began recounting everything that had happened to him. "A few days ago, I unearthed a blade at the Kim Hu construction site. It was covered in a powerful curse, exactly like the one on Chen Kuan's prayer beads. At first, I thought it was just a coincidence. But the more I thought about it, whether it's Kim Hu's construction site or the trouble at Chen Kuan's household, the party most affected in the end is still the Su family. The most important thing is, when I first met old Master Su, I sensed the same kind of aura as the curse." After hearing this, Su Yuan and old Master Su exchanged a knowing look, then suddenly burst into laughter, leaving Tan Cheng confused. "What's so funny?" he asked. Su Yuan explained, "In Tan City, no one would dare act against the Su family. And more importantly, we already know who's behind all of this." She continued, "Just like how you couldn't dispel the curse before, our Su family right now also doesn't have the power to shake them. If we confront them rashly, the consequences might be even worse than the curse itself." Tan Cheng felt indignant on their behalf. "Is there really no other way? Are we supposed to let them push us around like this?" Old Master Su spoke up. "It's not that, it's just, the time hasn't come yet." Tan Cheng couldn't quite picture what he meant. Su Yuan then gently asked, "Do you know Chengdu?" As she asked, she performed a spell and projected an image into her teacup. "I've heard of it," Tan Cheng replied, "but I don't know much." Su Yuan began reminiscing. "The Su family used to be a noble house in the capital. But a major incident occurred, and my grandfather and I fled here. It took us 2 years before we finally settled in Tan City. From having nothing, we slowly rebuilt, earning the status we have now. But there's always a higher mountain. The Su family isn't all powerful. Our enemies found us quickly. The fact that we've survived this long is already a miracle." Tan Cheng was moved. "I don't know exactly what happened to the Su family in the past, But I swear, no matter what injustices you've endured, I will help you make things right." Su Yuan's face darkened. "You think I don't want that? I'll never forget what happened to us. One day, they'll suffer the same pain." As she spoke, her eyes reflected sorrow mingled with deep-seated hatred. Realizing her own emotions were running too high, she quickly forced a smile and softened her words. "What I meant was, take care of yourself first. We'll deal with the Su family's matters in time." Tan Cheng raised 3 fingers. 3 years. At most 3 years. I'll help you all rise high enough in the capital to look down on the whole city. Just like you do here in Tan City." Seeing Tan Cheng's resolve, Su Yuan smiled, but she still asked, "What about the D family? Can you handle that on your own?" Tan Cheng answered confidently, "Absolutely." Scene change. D family mansion. After being humiliated by Tan Cheng, Di Chao returned home and ran to complain to his father. "I didn't even do anything. That Tan Cheng guy attacked me. Look, my arm's still bruised. I heard he even nearly killed someone at the Su family's corporate banquet. Father, if you don't step in, I might really get beaten to death." Hearing this, Di Shuji's face turned grim. "You're saying that Brad dared lay a hand on you? The D family's name means nothing to him?" Di Chao whined. "Exactly, that punk's full of himself." In a flash, Di Shuji shoved his son aside and shouted, "If that Brad is capable of beating someone half to death, do you think he'd let you off so easily? Clearly he's given you an escape route out of fear." As he prepared to leave, Di Chao assumed his father was going to go teach Tan Cheng a lesson. And he was right. That kid needs a proper beating. Di Shuji growled, "This is the perfect excuse to wring something out of the Su family. You want Su Yuan, right? This time you'll get her." Moments later, the D family's luxury car arrived at the Su residence gates. The staff tried to dissuade him, but he forced his way inside anyway. Once in the living room, he yelled, "What, has the Su family fallen so far that no one even comes to greet a guest?" Just then, Tan Cheng appeared and said calmly, "You must be Di Chao's father." Seeing Tan Cheng still sitting there sipping tea, Di Shuji's face turned stormy. "So it's you who injured my son?" Tan Cheng responded boldly. He was being disrespectful in front of old Master Su. "I merely taught him a lesson." Despite his composed exterior, Tan Cheng was nervous deep down. After all, he was just a younger man, and though he'd put on this front many times, it never got easier. Di Shuji, not backing down, raised his voice. "Even if he deserved it, that's not your place, nor the Su family's. You two came here with nothing. What right do you have to act mighty in Tan City? Let me tell you, the D family has roots here going back generations. My son is the son of the emperor in this city. It may sound arrogant, but if he takes a liking to Su Yuan, that's a blessing to the Su family. You should be grateful." Tan Cheng clenched his fists. Di Shuji was going too far. Taking advantage of the silence, Di Shuji pushed further. "Kneel, right now. Admit your mistake. If your attitude is good enough, I'll even let my son marry Su Yuan, as a favor to the Su family." That was the final straw. Tan Cheng stood up and looked him in the eye. "What if I don't kneel?" Di Shuji thundered. "Then you and Su Yuan can spend the rest of your lives in wheelchairs." Silently, Tan Cheng activated his technique and channeled it toward Di Shuji. With a quick tap on the man's forehead, Di Shuji cried out in pain. "What the hell did you do?" Tan Cheng's voice was cold. "You look down on me and the Su family? Then take your time experiencing the consequences." The pain soon subsided, and Di Shuji no longer believed Tan Cheng could actually harm him. He scoffed. "What, a little sorcery? You haven't solved the root of anything, it's worthless." With that, he turned to leave, not forgetting to hurl one last threat. "You got guts, kid, but don't blame me for what happens next." Tan Cheng, unfazed, gave a mock bow and said, "No need to be polite." Only after Di Shuji had completely left did Tan Cheng finally exhale in relief. For now, the devil had been driven from the Su family's doorstep. Su Yuan and old Master Su emerged. Su Yuan hesitantly asked, "So, is it over?" Tan Cheng explained, "I used a type of spell. It doesn't harm the body, but it disrupts the mind. Don't worry, within 3 days, Di Shuji will come crawling back to beg. If you want to banish him to Qingcheng, that's perfectly doable." Su Yuan looked puzzled. "Qingcheng?" Tan Cheng nodded. "There's a large medicinal market there. I want to try my luck. And just in case Di Shuji has more tricks up his sleeve, I'm going to get some herbs to strengthen myself, so I can shield the Su family from more trouble." Before long, Tan Cheng and Scarface arrived at the long-distance bus terminal in Tan City. At that moment, Scarface shyly suggested, "Sir Tan, why don't we just buy a car? With your status, riding something like this doesn't really suit you." But Tan Cheng immediately corrected him. "That kind of thinking has been spoiled by capitalism. What's wrong with public transportation? It's economical, eco-friendly, and who knows, maybe you'll even meet a date. You need to fix that mindset right away." Scarface nodded rapidly, agreeing with everything Tan Cheng said. However, it wasn't long before Tan Cheng's own words came back to slap him in the face. Jammed tightly inside a packed bus, he came to a painful realization: sometimes in life, it's better to pick the easier path. After a long and tortuous ride, Tan Cheng and Scarface finally got off the bus. Scarface, unable to hold it in anymore, said, "If we're buying a car, I'll pay." Tan Cheng immediately rejected that. "I can afford one myself. I don't need my subordinates' money." Suddenly, a familiar voice called out to Tan Cheng. He looked up and smiled upon seeing someone he recognized. Kung Dao had arrived. "It's really you," she said as she walked over. "What are the odds of running into you here?" Tan Cheng asked curiously. "What brings you here? Business trip?" Kung Dao responded with a sigh. "Business hasn't been good lately. I got laid off." Tan Cheng was visibly shocked. He felt sympathy for his friend. "Your boss must be blind." Kung Dao recounted what had happened. "Not long after that incident, Manhwa came in as my new supervisor. He made things incredibly hard for me, blocked me at every turn until I couldn't get any work done. Then they used downsizing as an excuse to fire me." Tan Cheng's anger flared. "That Manhwa must have a short memory. Want me to confront him for you?" But Kung Dao, shy by nature, quickly declined his offer. "I've decided I don't want to work there anymore. My sister has a company in Tan City. She's short on assistants, so I'll be helping her out." Tan Cheng and Scarface both raised eyebrows at that. Seeing their suspicion, Kung Dao chuckled. "My sister's car is right ahead. Want me to give you two a ride?" Just then, a haughty voice called out. "Who's this? 810 yuan t-shirt. Shoes from a street vendor. Jeans faded to gray, looks like a complete loser. Which trash heap did you dig this friend out of?" It was none other than Kung Wei, the sister Kung Dao had just mentioned. She had already made a judgment on Tan Cheng the moment she saw him. Kung Dao quickly stepped in. "He's Tan Cheng, my friend from university. He's a good person, helped me out many times before." At that moment, a young man peeked out from the car and commented, "I heard there's some rising young man in Tan City named Tan Cheng. Supposedly the Su family's future son-in-law. That's not you, is it?" Kung Wei scoffed before Tan Cheng could reply. "Of course it's just a coincidence. The Su family's future son-in-law wouldn't be taking buses and wearing street clothes like this." She introduced the man in the car as her boyfriend, Sa Nin, and was about to get in. But before she left, she said condescendingly, "There are plastic shoe covers in the car. Use them so you don't dirty the seats. And don't get any funny ideas. Kung Dao is a good girl. Stay away from her." Used to his girlfriend's overbearing attitude, Sa Nin just smiled awkwardly and told Tan Cheng and Scarface not to take it personally. They soon arrived at a restaurant, where Kung Wei lavishly ordered multiple expensive dishes. "I'll have 5 servings of bird's nest soup and a seafood platter in soy sauce." Her excessive ordering left Tan Cheng speechless. He tried to gently advise, "That's probably enough. This whole table won't be finished." But Kung Wei fired back angrily. "What, I can't treat you to some good food? Consider it an eye-opener for you." Tan Cheng quietly realized, this woman has a sharp tongue but a soft heart. Thankfully, Kung Dao didn't inherit that particular trait. Then, Kung Wei turned to her sister. "Dao Dao, come with me this afternoon to sign a contract. Get familiar with the work environment." Through this conversation, Kung Dao learned that the person they were signing with was Director Li from Tan City's Urjian Group. She immediately grew concerned. "Isn't Director Li notorious for being a lecher?" Kung Wei cut her off. "In this industry, there are more perverts than mosquitoes. If you don't learn how to handle them, something worse will happen later." Sa Nin also chimed in. "With this type of client, I'd be the wrong person to show up. Besides, he's backed by the D family." Hearing the D family mentioned, Tan Cheng couldn't help but say, "To ensure safety, let me come along with you too." Sensing their doubtful stares, he quickly pulled Scarface into the conversation. With Scarface around, no one's going to dare try anything. Kung Wei considered it and nodded. "Fine, if something happens inside, we'll give a signal and you two can come in. Deal?" "Deal." Tan Cheng agreed. Before long, the group arrived at Tan City's Urjian Group. After reviewing the documents, Director Li said, "I've read the contract, but you should know, I usually don't work with small firms." Kung Wei responded with practiced flattery. "Of course, it's an honor for us to even have a chance to work with you. Please, name your conditions." Director Li glanced at Kung Dao, obviously targeting her. "You're new, aren't you? What's your name? How old are you?" "I'm 25, Kung Dao replied nervously. That made Director Li smile. He signaled for her to sit on his lap. "Things will go a lot smoother this way." Seeing the situation escalate, Kung Wei stood in front of her sister. "Director Li, that's really inappropriate. I've never heard of a contract needing to be signed from someone's lap." Director Lee's expression soured. What do you know? Business depends on chemistry. And I think me and this little cutie have a real connection. I want to discuss it privately. You can step outside. As he said that, he grabbed Kung Dao and tried to hold her in place. Kung Wei, realizing things were getting out of hand, secretly messaged Tan Cheng. Tan Cheng intervenes. Moments later, outside the office, Tan Cheng saw Kung Hui's signal and stepped inside. Director Lee was caught off guard by the stranger. Who the hell are you? Tan Cheng calmly introduced himself. I'm Tan Cheng. He offered a handshake. The moment Director Lee realized this was the Tan Cheng, the one at odds with the D family, it was too late. Tan Cheng gripped his hand tightly, causing Lee to scream in pain. With a casual tone, Tan Cheng asked, So Director Lee, would you say we have chemistry? Knowing he stood no chance, Director Lee immediately begged for mercy. Master Tan, I was wrong. I truly know my mistake now. Tan Cheng finally released him and brought up the contract. Director Lee, shaking like a leaf, agreed to everything. Once everything was settled, Tan Cheng left with Kung Dao and her sister. Little did he know, Director Lee had already contacted Di Shuji to report what had happened.